Greetings. This is Antonio Seawitch, your Chief Encouragement Officer, and I wanted to have a discussion very briefly about ownership. I've often been asked the question, well, how do I know whether or not I'm cut out to be a business owner? And I believe that the discussion goes deeper than owning a business. It goes deeper than ownership. It actually falls back on responsibility. You know, there's times when I talk to my children and I have discussions with them about relationships, and I always use as a point of discussion about a relationship that has been severed or that's ended. And the discussion that I have is centered around things that I could have done differently to preserve or cultivate or restore the relationship. And the reason that is because when I discuss a negative situation, I want the focus to be on things that I can control and take responsibility for. The other person's faults, shortcomings, what they did wrong, have nothing to do with me. Because when God looks at that situation, his question is, what did you do to cause damage? What could you have done to repair or restore? And those are the only things that I need to be concerned with and that I need to share with my children, because someone else's faults are not my business. So that same mindset towards responsibility can be taken not only into relationships, but also into the business realm. When you talk about starting a business, you're taking ownership, because a business owner understands that he or she, when they start their business, they're eventually going to get to the point where they are creating jobs. They actually start creating jobs when they decide to start their own business, because they are actually leaving their job. But it is rooted in responsibility, because they know that they are responsible for creating income. Now, I also hear, well, I'm not cut out to be a business owner. Everyone can't be a business owner. There has to be some employees, and that is true. But let's take away the title of business owner and employee and look at responsibility. If you don't want to be responsible for creating income, you can get a job where you can process work within a system that someone else has created. But the trade-off for that is the perception or the illusion of security. Because I have a job, I'm secure, I make $20 an hour, I work 40 hours a week. Well, that security is within the realm of your employment, and your employer decides how long you will be there. So security, absolutely, but it's perception based. As a business owner, I will never fire myself, but my income is not predictable because I have to go out and create work. Do you see how it's relative? And so this is a good discussion to have, because if you do not want to take responsibility in relationships, then that's fine. But you will have no ownership or control over the outcome of your next relationship, because of an unwillingness to take responsibility or ownership in the relationship that was lost. Same thing with the job. You don't have to have the responsibility of creating income. You can simply transfer that responsibility to your income, and if your check is short, you can go to HR, you can file a complaint, you can do whatever you'd like to do. But in exchange for that lack of responsibility, you're also sacrificing your equity, because you will never be able to pass that job on to your child or your children's children. That's why the word talks about a wise man providing an inheritance for his children's children, because he or she is able to create equity or resources beyond the time that he or she is living. Because of ownership, that equity can be transferred from person to person. And that's where the term generational wealth comes from. Generational wealth does not come from employment. It comes from ownership. And you can actually have ownership as an employee. And those typically are the employees that are put into a supervisory or a management position because they take ownership. And an owner recognizes that like mindset and is compelled to promote the person that has the ownership mindset because they're focused on equity within the relationship of the business, even though they don't own it. So with that being said, you know the steps that we talk about here on this channel, they are on the screen. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel, and we will look forward to talking with you on the next video. Remember, whether it's in your relationships, on your job, or whether you're starting a business, remember to always take ownership, because in doing so, you're taking responsibility, and that will give you equity in the form of wisdom and wealth that is transferable from generation to generation. Have a great day. God bless.